观众朋友们，大家好！今天咱们新时代卫视的录影棚请来了一位神秘的嘉宾。这位嘉宾啊，他是著名的魔术表演艺术家。那么现在呢，我就让他介绍一下自己。Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Good. Would you mind introduce yourself for all of the audience?
Of course. My name is Dale Salwak. I live in California. I've been out here many years, but I originally come from Massachusetts.
Okay. Well, when I first of all heard magic, this word, what do you think? What is magic?
Well, when I think of magic, I remember when I was 5 years old and I saw my first magician, and I was amazed. It filled me with wonder and curiosity. So I think magic is the means of leaving our reality and entering a make-believe world, kind of like Harry Potter. Make-believe where anything is possible. All that limits us is our imagination. If you can imagine it, you can do it.
Pretty cool. So when you, at 5 years old, you just decided, oh, I love magic. I want to learn?
Yes. I was at a birthday party, and the entertainment at the birthday party was a magician. And after his show, while the rest of the children ran to the other room to have cake and ice cream, I stayed with the magician. And that's when I got started. There was just something happened inside of me when I saw that magician, and I knew this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah, so we hear about your performance at the Magic Castle. So do you mind just tell me how is it and where is the Magic Castle?
Magic Castle is in Hollywood. It's a private club. It's been operating for more than 50 years, and it's a wonderful, wonderful place. It's a castle on a hill, and it features magicians every night. It has several showrooms, including a big theater, which is where I work. And it's a make-believe world where adults and children come and see magic shows and have wonderful food as well.
That's pretty cool. I also saw you have a picture. You have a lot of students.
Yes.
They come from all over the world.
Yes.
To learn how to play the magic.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, it's located in Laverne, California, and I've been operating it since 1978. It's a studio of magic that actually opened in 1941, and I was a student in the late 60s. And I have students, 20 to 25 students every year, and they come from all over the world, including many from China. For one example, I have one student with me. He's been studying with me for 4 years. He comes from Hangzhou, a wonderful, wonderful talent, and it's a great privilege to be able to work with him and see him grow as a performer.
Yeah, I think it's a really good experience. It's learning magic. So is there your parents, they support you to learn magic? Or?
Yes. My parents raised me that if they saw an interest, then they encouraged it. And both my mother and father saw early on that I had a passion for the arts, and especially for magic, and so I'm very grateful that all those years as I was growing up, they encouraged me.
Cool. So do you have a hard time for learning or whatever when you performance the magic?
Well, magic is an art, and it's also a craft, and it takes daily practice, takes a great deal of personal discipline and a lot of study, just like any art. You think of music, for example. A musician has to practice every day, doesn't he, or doesn't she? You think of gymnastics or acrobatics. They have to practice every day. So it's no different than with magic. It's constant study, but I love doing it. I have a passion for it. It's not hard to want to study and practice and rehearse when it's something you love.
So what kind of practice you need to do every day?
Well, I practice the routines that I know and that I perform almost nightly when I'm performing, but then I'm also...
Just stretch your finger.
And stretch, sure. I have various exercises. I play the piano, so that helps a great deal. And every morning I'll play for about a half hour, just keep my fingers nimble. And I have various stretching exercises, that's right, and relaxation exercises. And then I'll work on new techniques and new effects.
That's pretty cool. So would you mind tell me which performance is the show that you unforgettable?
Well, the one show that I'll never forget, besides the first one, I mean, the first impressions are all important, aren't they? When you meet a person for the first time, you remember that meeting. When I saw that magician for the first time, I'll never forget that. So that was unforgettable. But if I had to pick one performance, there was a magician by the name of Harry Blackstone, very famous in America, where he floated a lit light bulb out over the audience, and then it came back to his hands, and I'll never forget that. It was real magic for 3 minutes.
Okay. Is there have somebody is be a spoil is like a naughty boy to against you when you perform the magic? To say, oh, this is not real, and stuff like that.
I suppose sometimes, although I don't let that bother me. In any audience, you might have some who are a little bit skeptical or a little bit not willing to believe what you're doing. But you know, every audience is different. Every audience member is different. And all I can do is come out and do my best, express my passion for the art, and hope that they will enjoy.
Okay. So is the magic performance is your full-time job?
Yes, I perform almost nightly, and then I also teach magic. Oh. And that's a big part of my life. And then I have other activities as well besides the magic.
Okay. We hear about you are a teacher.
That is right. Yes, I've been for many years a professor of English literature at Citrus College in Glendora, and I do a lot of writing and publishing as well, and a lot of international travel, trying to arrange people-to-people exchanges or cultural-to-cultural exchanges using magic.
So which work you prefer to do besides compare the teaching and the magic?
Both. I can't separate. The teaching feeds me in a way that the magic does not, and the magic feeds me in ways that the teaching does not. So it's different parts of me that is fed by that, and I love both very deeply.
Yeah, I think this is the reason why when I saw you on the stage, you're so comfy and elegant. You never feel shy and nervous on the stage because you are a teacher.
That's helped, and vice versa. The magic has helped my teaching. But, you know, long ago I learned not to be afraid of my audience. And long ago I learned that I'm doing what I always dreamed of doing since I was a child, so why be afraid? You come out working to the audience as if they are your good friends or friends to be made. Everybody is waiting and to be entertained and wants to make some kind of emotional connection with the performer, and I always think of that when I come out.
Okay. So what do you do at your part-time life? You work creativity or think about the new idea?
Well, a lot of things. I mean, I'm always thinking about magic and always thinking about teaching. I'm an avid reader. I love to travel. I mentioned playing the piano. I engage in sports. And I enjoy very much traveling and learning about different cultures. For example, since 1998, I've been to China 38 times. In fact, my 39th time is coming up soon. And I've grown to love and respect the Chinese people and their culture. There's so much, it's 5,000 years of history. And I come from a country that's about 220 years, so I have a lot to learn in covering those 5,000 years. And you know, magic goes back almost 3,000 years in China. A long, storied history. So travel is a big part of my life, and I like to connect with the people that I meet and learn about their culture and learn from their point of view.
Okay. Yeah, as we all know, a lot of people, they like magic and they also want to learn. Can you tell us the very important things, how to become a magician?
Yes, very important to learn, first of all, a solid foundation in magic. There's two ways to build a house. You can build a house on sand or you can build a house on rock. If you build it on sand, when the storms come along, then the house washes away. If you build the house on rock, then it stands, it's solid. And the same thing applies to education, whether it's magic or any other field. You need a solid foundation in the basics, and then from there we build and grow, begin to learn some of the more advanced material. So if I were talking to someone who's just starting out in magic, I would suggest to that person that he or she find a good basic instruction manual to magic, Perhaps find a teacher that can help him or her to learn the basics, start and get a solid foundation, and then grow from there.
Okay, yeah, that's a really good idea for how to learn, start at the magic. Okay, thank you. 非常感谢我们的魔术先生来到我们的演播室，感谢您收看我们今天的节目，感谢您锁定新时代卫视。对魔术有兴趣的朋友们呢，也可以联系我们，给予我们宝贵的意见与建议。感谢您收看今天的节目，我们下期时间再见。